All right, so it's Tuesday, December the 2nd. Join me. We're going to roll through today's latest sneaker news updates. Now, I'm not even going to lie, y'all. Today, I do happen to be just a little bit under the weather. So just a warning, right? No sugarcoating today. If you're somebody who's sensitive to somebody giving real opinions, it's probably not the video for you, right? I would suggest to hit the little X, log off, go about your day. But if you're still sticking around, right, and you enjoy a good laugh or two, let's jump right into things. Well, actually, first, before the hate-a-thon begins, I got to give a salute to our guy, Ronald D. Thomas, who yesterday he commented on the video talking about Brody, no Kobe. So let's go ahead and show some love to the late legend, where yesterday we saw Nike release the Kobe Air Force One. These were called lenticular, which feature an interesting snakeskin-like upper. It's also noteworthy to mention this is a Pro-Tro model, which Jordan fans, they've been begging for Nike to hit us with some Pro-Tro models. And I think the only thing that they really did to upgrade these was to add a new insole, and it makes them that much more comfortable. So like Nike, Jordan brand, like what are y'all doing? As far as the stock numbers for this pair, just under 10,000 pairs released. So congrats to everybody that had success on that drop. The Kobe releases don't stop there, as today we saw them release the cargo khaki pair, which obviously is a little more green. We saw these drop not on the sneakers app, but via Nike, as well as some of their retail partners. As far as the Nike stock, they dropped somewhere like a little less than 3,000 pairs of these, right? So that's really cool for Kobe fans. But of course, the Kobe releases do not stop there. As his wife, Vanessa, she teased this little image right here. We got the Kobe 3 Pro-Tro Christmas, which looks like they got a nice little ornament and all that. That's a cool look. The laces give off that kind of frosted tip effect, right? That's dope and all that. But as far as the Kobe 3, right? I just feel like this one's more of a tough sell, just due to the fact that it's more of like a basketball looking Kobe sneaker versus like the low top pairs, which seem to be a lot more, I guess, popular, right? But being as these are releasing actually on Christmas Eve, that could play into the fact that maybe your people are looking to pick these up. But regardless, I'm not mad at these, right? So when you talk about these Kobe drops, I've asked you guys this before, but do you feel like Nike is maybe doing a little bit too much? It's kind of difficult to keep up with all these releases, or due to the fact that some of these shoes do actually release in limited quantities, you know, they're just doing it the right way? Let me know what you guys think, man. Shout out to all the real Kobe fans out there. So let's go ahead and jump into things. As far as other releases we saw happen today, Asics, they teamed up with New England's Patriot star Stefon Diggs, which they've been dropping a few different pairs here and there, this time on the Asics Gel DS Trainer 14, which I happen to actually really like this silhouette. I think it's a good looking shoe. Choice of colors is great, but I just want to ask y'all, like, who is out here really buying Stefon Diggs sneakers, right? Like, I mean, I'm not mad at him. I feel like he'd be doing his thing on the field and all that, but as far as these shoes, right? Every time I put these on, I would just be thinking to myself of like Cardi B walking around the crib, his baby mama pregnant, you know, yapping in your ear and everything like that. And for that reason alone, like, these are a no-go for me. So let's keep things pushing. We got LeBron, new colorway of the LeBron 23, which that's so cool, man. LeBron, the GOAT, right? Well, I can't really say the GOAT because we got to talk about MJ. So I guess the second best basketball, well, that would go to Kobe. So LeBron, he's just LeBron, right? So as far as this colorway of the LeBron 23, this one is for his high school team. What would they call it? St. Vincent, St. Mary. You know, the Fighting Irish. I remember back in the day, bro, seeing LeBron play in high school. Like, this was the first time that I noticed, like, a high school player just getting that much attention, right? I think they were calling him the chosen one back then. And if I recall, like, this is wild, but I specifically remember them canceling NBA games on ESPN that were scheduled to drop, you know, and rather they would play LeBron high school games. Like, it was that serious, bro. But I guess LeBron almost lived up to all the hype, man. So shout out to him, man. As far as these LeBron sneakers, like, who's out here buying LeBrons, like, still in 2025? Like, no shade or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, they doing a lot behind marketing, right? I pulled up the DSG this past weekend, right? Dick's Sporting Goods. They had this huge big LeBron display, you know, with all these big glass cases showcasing the LeBron 23. They had these huge LeBron murals everywhere, all over the mall and everything. So I'm like, bruh, who is buying these sneakers? I know Nike isn't selling enough LeBrons to recoup, you know, everything that they're investing as far as the marketing budget and all that. But let's go ahead and keep things pushing, y'all, man. So Devin Booker, this is too easy. Right, today we saw them release the Nike Blazer Low, the D-Book joints, which we got the College Navy pair, as well as the Campfire Orange joints. Now, when you talk about Devin Booker, right, I get the marketing behind this, right? The lifestyle sneakers. It's supposed to kind of match his laid back, almost type of West Coast style. I know he's not from the West Coast, but he's kind of giving off like that chill, laid back West Coast type of vibe, which as far as these sneakers, right? This was an interesting drop because as far as the college Navy pair, they were limited, right? Nike released just around like 2,500 pairs to the SNKRS app, but as far as the Campfire Orange joints, like, it's absolutely insane. They dropped just around 500 pairs of these. So if you break that down by size, like for example, some sizes, they might have had like maybe like 20 pairs available or something like that. And as I'm recording this right now, as we speak, when you talk about these D-Book joints, right? Okay, there are some sizes selling out, but for a sneaker this limited, like you would expect this joints to like sell out instantly or something like that. And when you talk about Devin Booker, right? The reason I feel like he has such a tough time selling sneakers, I don't really necessarily feel like it's the design, because those Blazer lows, they're not bad. The D-Book 1 got a lot of hate, but I feel like it's not a bad looking shoe, right? Same with the D-Book 2, but I just feel like, you know, when you talk about signature athletes, right? I think he's definitely deserving of his own signature shoe. Like if Joel Embiid got his own signature shoe, I feel like Devin Booker is definitely deserving of a pair. But when they try to like expand the line and sell lifestyle variants like the Blazer Low, like I feel like that's just where they kind of got to pump the brakes a little bit, because as far as the big signature athletes in the NBA, right? You know, you got the big three, which I refer to them as Anthony Edwards, Shea, and Ja Morant. When you talk about a dude like a D-Book, he's lacking, you know, like what the kids call aura. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you know, being as he's a fellow light-skinned brother, like people are already gonna look at you as you come across as like, you know, unlikable. So I feel like when you want to expand the line, especially for Nike and the signature shoe, like it's cool for him to have his own shoes and all that, but trying to drop lifestyle shoes, like I just feel like he kind of lacks that aura, you know, as the kids like to say or whatever. Like just look at Jason Tatum, right? But anyways, let's go ahead and get into these J Balvins, right? He was spotted rocking an unreleased pair of Jordan 4s. So y'all got to jump in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about these right here. Somebody that was definitely absent as far as the release calendar for Jordan brand collaborations. J Balvin, which coming off those threes, what were they? The Medellin and the Rio joints, right? I feel like he was definitely absent, you know, from Jordan brand's release calendar. After dropping the ones, the J Balvin 2s, then two different colors of the 3, I feel like it was only right for Jordan brand to hit us with the 4. Now, I'm not saying that this shoe is confirmed to be the J Balvin 4s, but if they are, man, I gotta say, Jordan brand, y'all dropped the ball on these joints, right? This is what I would think of when you talk about like a Jordan Lego collaboration. Like this just looks like they took a whole bunch of little colors and just threw them all together and were like, yo, but like there's no cohesion here. Like these colors just don't work in my opinion. I'm just not a fan, man. I do appreciate, you know, the eyelets with the little metal steel look to them. That's something different, mixing it up a bit. But with all these rainbow joints, bro, like, I don't know what type of message J Balvin's trying to give right here. But shout out to the Familia. J Balvin, possible his next Jordan 4, man. Y'all got to let me know what y'all think about these. Should we check the comment section? Somebody put, what the Balvin 4s? This dude, Snubtoes, said, keep these right where he got them. Too busy. Yeah. So they agree with me. Somebody put that was Paul Wall for a second. Yeah, no love for these right here. So just like I thought. But again, we have seen J Balvin pop out in a custom pair of Jordan 4. So who knows? This could either be an official little teaser for his next upcoming release or possibly just another custom, you know, that people will forget about in the next couple of days. So stay tuned for more details on these rainbow joints right here. Which then that's going ahead and bring us here to a breaking update. Actually, this happened yesterday where Nike has announced a new update for the SNKRS app, which they're calling the SNKRS Code, right? So it says SNKRS Code is an experience that unlocks access to exclusive products through discovery of a secret password or code. These passwords could take from the form of trivia answers, special phrases, or other creative formats, and can be found on Nike platforms, partner channels, or maybe hidden on the pair you're looking for next. So Nike mixing things up a little bit. Essentially, this is just a way for them to kind of make releases bring a little more fun to some of these drops. Nike, they'll try to make it like they're trying to fight the bots and everything and get the shoes into the people that actually need them. But this is something I would compare to like, say, a SNKRS Pass or even, what were they calling it? The sneakers link, right? Remember like them Nike SB joints where you had to actually click the link to get access to them. So it's just another way for Nike to mix things up. I wouldn't get too hyped with something like this, just because, just like the sneakers link, right? They did it for what, like one drop, I guess, for them SBs. They tried to do it, I think, for the restock of the Nigels. That didn't work. So it's just another way for, like, say, a cook group or somebody on Twitter to get the password and just spread it out like wildfire for all of those people to be able to hit. And then the fact that it's actually supposed to be like a mystery, a clue, which you're supposed to discover either through like scrolling through the sneakers app or whatever special way Nike said, catching a clue on a social media post, you know, spotting it at a local event. That's going to go all the way out the door once somebody just gets the password and just spreads it around. So I think this is just something that Nike might tease potentially for, say, like a December release, one of these upcoming drops. Think about it, like, as far as pairs dropping this month, which release would you like to see Nike use this for? I would say, like, mix it up maybe for the Narwhal Dunks. That's a big release. Maybe he could post some stuff on his social media or something like that, maybe at a special pop-up. But as far as other December releases, like, you got the Travis Scott joints. You know, that would be something cool. Or who knows, maybe they can mix it up for like a big general release, like the Gamma Blues or whatever. But as far as Nike rolling out these new release methods, they're cool or whatever. I think it's something to bring a little excitement, mix things up for these releases. But the problem is they don't stick to them, right? When's the last time we saw a sneaker leak? Or sneakers, what would they call it? A link, sneakers link. And as far as this, I feel like they'll probably just do it a couple of times and then just forget about it, right? So it is what it is, but just thought it was noteworthy to mention. And I'll be curious to know what you guys think about it, right? And then that brings us here to Salehe Bembury, which, if people are wondering like why I always mention stock numbers and the fact that shoes are going to sell out or not, you'll find out here why shortly, right? So recently, Salehe Bembury, he did this little Black Friday sale event where he was putting on a lot of his products, his various collaborations, stuff that he's created available on his website, right? So you had stuff like the unreleased New Balance Fog Be the Cloud joints right here, which looks like these are sold out pretty much. Oh, nah. Yeah, sold out in some of the bigger sizes. I think those are dope. You talk about a New Balance 1000. But he also had some other stuff right here, like the Crocs Juniper, his 991 V2, and different other various Salehe projects which he's worked on, right? Now, sneakerheads, they're a little upset at Salehe, right? Because as far as this stuff, it went on sale via the website. But then shoes like the 991 V2, shoes like these 1000s, which they didn't sell, right? He went ahead and marked them down just a few days after the release, right? So from the 991 V2 went from the retail price of $275 down to $170. Then the 1000s, they dropped from $160 down to $120, which left some people mad because they were out here paying for the shoes at full price only for them to not sell them, for him to discount them, right? A few days afterward, this dude, South Memphis, put the Cloudberry need to be $120. Let's see. Somebody put, well, crap. I just bought the 991 V2s for $200 on Black Friday. Don't love that. This dude put, wow, paid around $300 earlier this year. Now he's doing this. Guess it might be my last purchase. See, this is how sneakerheads feel, right? When they invest into a shoe and buy them at full price, only for them to be discounted later on, right? You feel burned. You feel like you got played, which is why, like, when it comes to the sneaker game, it's all about illusion, right? If you put your shoes on sale, it's gonna give people the impression that it's not hot. Plus, if somebody invests into a shoe at full price and then they go on sale, like, it just leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. And as far as like a long-lasting, you know, relationship with customer base, this is a way to lose people, right? So that's what happened, and that's why I always mention you guys when we talk about these stock numbers. It's not because I'm trying to hype up a shoe or anything like that. It's just to gauge the demand, you know how popular a release is. That way you guys don't run into situations, you know, where you get burned like this. See, Chef Doomy, he put right here, this year especially, it's important as a buyer to recognize market and what's hot to know if it makes sense to buy at full retail or not. Which leaves me with this right here. Before we bounce, coming up tomorrow, we got Jordan Brand. releasing the Jordan 5 PSG, which this is a shoe which people are saying is trash, right? We're already seeing them go for under retail via secondary markets. But as far as stock numbers, this one may catch a lot of people off guard, because as far as the stock numbers, I'm seeing that there's only around 9,000 pairs, which will be dropping tomorrow via the SNKRS app. So the fact that these are a little more limited than just say like a general release Jordan, do y'all feel like that's gonna be enough to make this one sell out? Do you think people are gonna, switch up their opinions now that they know that this release is a little more exclusive and limited? I'm just saying, it's a reason that we talk about these stock numbers and how sometimes it's kind of an indicator of how difficult a sneaker will be to get. But regardless of the stock numbers, I still feel like this is one that doesn't have like a huge appeal. And I think it's due to a few different reasons. One of those being kind of the aged midsole. Another one is the choice of materials used on these. And the fact that I feel like consumers are really confused by the whole PSG Jordan Brand collaboration, right? What sense does it make for Jordan Brand, a basketball company, to partner up with a football club, which at the end of the day, it's all about money, right? Jordan Brand, he's into NASCAR, golf, all that. It's just another way to expand, into these European markets. So as far as tomorrow's drop, PSG Jordan 5s may be a little bit more limited than a lot of people expected. So if this is a shoe which has been on your radar, you may not want to play any games about this drop, as it looks like stock numbers are coming in at just around 9,000 pairs for tomorrow's SNKRS app release. So that's all I got for you guys for today's Hater-thon episode. Man, if you guys weren't a little too sensitive and you made it through the end and you had a good laugh or two, drop a like in the comment section down below. So I'll catch you guys next time, man. I'm about to get on that honey and lemon, drink some tea, take a little flu medicine, and call it a day. Hopefully I'll be back to check in with you guys tomorrow, man. So in the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. JATV, I appreciate everybody. I'll catch y'all next time. Love.